Greetings, Argos. Thank you for joining the Office of Career Development and Community Engagement for this online presentation. Today, we're going to be talking about networking and professional communication skills. First up, some job search trivia. Say you were to take 100 identical resumes and send them to 100 different employers through online applications. What do you think your average return on investment would be? Got your number? Here's the answer. 3 to 4%. Now, what if you were to tailor your resume? You were to research the company beforehand. You were to match all of the keywords that they're looking for. Everything was perfect, and then you send it to 100 different companies. 12 to 15%. Now, what if you had a networking relationship with the company that you're sending it to? You knew exactly who you were going to be interviewing with. You were incentivized to apply by a friend, coworker, colleague, or someone in your network. What do you think your return on investment would be? Ready for the answer? 70%. As we can see from this, networking is such an important part of the job search, but it can be very difficult to get started at first. First things first, where can you network? Absolutely anywhere. Say you're standing in line at a coffee shop and you run into somebody and you start up a conversation just to pass the time. That person has a job, they have professional connections, and you can network with them. Introduce yourself. At a career fair, great opportunities for networking all around. Even in your classes, because a lot of your classmates have networks that you can then connect with. Who might you network with? Literally anybody. Strangers, friends, colleagues, coworkers, even professors can be added to your network or can introduce you to others who can add to your network. Now, what are some barriers that people often struggle with? A lot of times we say that we're either too shy to network with strangers or we're too busy to attend networking events. Well, shyness is to be expected, but it's something that once you start, it becomes much easier over time. Remember that you're trying to get to know this person, not as a means to an end. You're not trying to get anything from them. You're just trying to learn more about who they are and how they can help your professional development. So once you start, it becomes a lot easier to get over this barrier. Now, being too busy. There's several ways that you can get over this. First is by carving out time to attend career fairs. Now, not all of us are able to do that. Some of us work 9-to-5 jobs and are unable to attend a career fair that may be in the middle of the day. Now, in lieu of this, you can even network online. We'll talk a little bit more about this a little later, but you can reach out to strangers, coworkers, alumni through websites such as LinkedIn or Indeed, or even through social media. And that is an excellent place to start networking. Now, a big part of networking is knowing how to introduce yourself. Through this, our office suggests crafting a 1-minute commercial. This is where you can introduce yourself, your professional background, your educational background, what your goals are, or identify a point of connection between you and the other person if you know who you're talking to, and open up that conversation with a question. A good example here is, hello, my name is Susie Jobseeker. I'm a senior in communication arts planning to graduate in May of 2019. My goal is to complete a marketing internship this summer. After visiting your website, I found that your internship program is nationally recognized. Could you tell me a little bit more about the program? As you can see, this individual identifies who they are, what their educational background is, what their goal is. They offer a point of connection between them and the company showing that they've done their research. And they end with that question because networking is about so much more than just professional development, than just receiving a job. It's about getting to know the other person and continuing that conversation. Much in the same vein, don't be afraid to make small talk with people that you're networking with. This is a great way to get to know them and for them to get to know you. The closer your personal relationship is with a professional relationship, the better it'll be in the long term. Some great things that you can talk about include current events. Now, you may not want to talk about any controversial current events. Politics is often a no-go. But things such as current sports, movies, celebrity news, great way to start the conversation. While it may sound boring at first, weather is a great way to continue that conversation as well. If you're local here to the Pensacola area, you know that our weather changes every 30 to 45 minutes, and so it can make for an interesting topic of conversation. Sports, hobbies, movies, books, these are all great ways to get to know them as people because, of course, while you are interacting with them through the context of work, they are so much more than just who they are at work. Ask them and engage them about their interests. Find out what they do on their off time. See if you have anything in common. And then last but certainly not least, you can always talk about the immediate environment. If you're at a formal networking event, such as a career fair, you can ask them how their day's going. If they've had a lot of students come up and talk to them. If they've received a lot of applications. Now, some topics that you do not want to approach. Certainly anything controversial. Politics, religion, personal relationships, any form of substance abuse history, these are all things that you want to avoid. While it may sound obvious at first, there are several fields where political opinions become far more common to discuss when you're discussing the job. Bear in mind that the person you're talking to may not always share exactly your ideas and opinions, so it's best to avoid these kind of topics. Now, another great resource is reaching out online through a website such as LinkedIn or through social media. We highly suggest reaching out to alumni if you don't know where to start. When you go on websites like LinkedIn, you can find the University of West Florida's page. From there, you can filter alumni based on their degree. You can see where they currently work, who they currently work for, and some of their professional history. When you find someone that you may want to network with, or maybe in the same industry as you, it's perfectly appropriate to reach out and say, "Hello, my name is..." I am also an alumni from the University of West Florida from the same program as you. I would like to be where you are. Do you have any advice that you wish you knew when you were starting the job search? This is a perfectly professional way to contact someone that you may not know. And I'll say as well, this works with employers. Through these online resources, you can contact people that you wouldn't normally run into in networking events. C-suite executives, high-level engineers. All of these people are incentivized to talk to you, even if it's just a quick, "No, I can't talk right now" message. I highly suggest reaching out to people that you admire, to those working in your field that you're curious about, and say something along the lines of, "Hello, my name is blank. I'm looking to get into this field. Do you have any advice for me?" Or, "I'm looking to work for your company. Do you have any advice on where to start?" Some of them may reach back out and say no, but others will even respond back saying, "Yes, I'd love to, and I'd love to meet with you." And some will even just send real quick bulleted responses saying, "Here's what I did, and here's where I would suggest looking for the future." This is a great way to not only learn more about your field, but also to grow your network. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you ever have any questions, you're welcome to reach out to our office at career@uwf.edu.